Though 3 men dwell on Flannan Isle to keep the lamp alight, as we steered under the lee, we caught no glimmer through the night. A passing ship at dawn had brought the news, and quickly we set sail to find out what strange thing might ail the keepers of the deep sea light. And the winter day broke blue and bright, with glancing sun and glancing spray, as o'er the swell our boat made way, as gallant as a gull in flight. But as we neared the lonely isle and looked up at the naked height, and saw the lighthouse towering white with blinded lantern that all night had never shot a spark of comfort through the dark, so ghostly in the cold sunlight it seemed that we were struck the while with wonder all too dread for words. And as into the tiny creek we stole beneath the hanging crag, we saw 3 queer black ugly birds, too big by far in my belief for guillemot or shag, like seamen sitting bolt upright upon a half-tide reef. But as we neared they plunged from sight without a sound or spurt of white, and still too mazed to speak we landed and made fast the boat, and climbed the track in single file, each wishing he was safe afloat on any sea, however far, so it be far from Flannan Isle. And still we seemed to climb and climb as though we'd lost all count of time, and so must climb forevermore. Yet all too soon we reached the door, the black sun-blistered lighthouse door that gaped for us ajar. As on the threshold for a spell we paused, we seemed to breathe the smell of lime wash and of tar, familiar as our daily breath, as though 'twere some strange scent of death. And so, yet wondering side by side, we stood a moment still, tongue-tied, and each with black voting eyed the door ere we should fling it wide, to leave the sunlight for the gloom, till plucking courage up at last, hard on each other's heels, we passed into the living room. Yet as we crowded through the door we only saw a table spread for dinner, meat and cheese and bread, but all untouched and no one there, as though when they sat down to eat ere they could even taste, alarm had come and they in haste had risen and left the bread and meat, for at the table head a chair lay tumbled on the floor. We listened, but we only heard the feeble cheeping of a bird that starved upon its perch, and listening still without a word, we set about our hopeless search. We hunted high, we hunted low, and soon ransacked the empty house. Then o'er the islands to and fro we ranged, to listen and to look in every cranny, cleft or nook that might have hid a bird or mouse. But though we searched from shore to shore we found no sign in any place, and soon again stood face to face before the gaping door, and stole into the room once more as frightened children steal. Ay, though we hunted high and low and hunted everywhere of the 3 men's fate, we found no trace of any kind in any place, but a door ajar and an untouched meal and an overtoppled chair. And as we listened in the gloom of that forsaken living room, a chill clutch on our breath, we thought how ill chance came to all who kept the Flannan light, and how the rock had been the death of many a likely lad, how 6 had come to a sudden end, and 3 had gone stark mad, and one whom we'd all known as friend had leapt from the lantern one still night and fallen dead by the lighthouse wall. And long we thought on the 3 we sought, and of what might yet befall. Like curse a glance is brought to heel, we listened flinching there, and looked on the untouched meal and the overtoppled chair. We seemed to stand for an endless while, though still no word was said. 3 men alive on Flannan Isle who thought on 3 men dead.